Okay, so welcome everybody to the Public Sector Challenge London Bridges Walk webinar ahead of Saturday's walk in London. We did this for the Yorkshire Free Peak, so we just thought we'd do a webinar for any questions, answers you might need ahead of the walk on Saturday. Conscious that we're a board of volunteers, so we do have an email box, we've got a website, but not always we perhaps respond as quick as an Amazon Prime service. So we just thought we'd put this in a webinar, it might be help for any questions you might have. But what I've got is a few slides to go through, and we've got a Q&A. So if you'd like to put anything in the Q&A, please do, and we'll try and answer your question either today on the webinar or we'll send them out on responses anyway. We'll probably highlight them on the website, but we'll try and answer all the questions today ahead of Saturday. So great, fantastic for you all to sign up and be part of the Public Sector Challenge London Bridges Walk. First one on Saturday, the 18th of January. Really looking forward to everybody being part of that. And the weather looks better than this week. So we've got hopefully a bit warmer climate, but not too warm. So you can all still wear your beanie hats and really present a purple brand along the River Thames. So yeah, I don't know if Pete, have you got the presentation up or is that already up? Brilliant. Thank you. So yeah, we're really proud to have some great partners involved in the event. Our main partner this year is Everyone Active, leisure provider across the sector, and supporting as our main sponsor. We've also got Digital Modus as our medal partner. So big thanks to them. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to put on the challenges because there's a lot of support behind the scene and infrastructure that needs to be put in to make your day as best as possible. We've also got a number of partners that have been our main partners right from the outset, Kratos Group being one of them, Soccer Team, Solace, the MJ, and Local Government Association. And we've also recently engaged London Councils on board for this year and hopefully next year as well, Challenge in London as well. And you're pleased to welcome on board British Heart Foundation as our second major charity. So we've got Cancer Research UK and British Heart Foundation. So all the funding, all the money raised through fundraising or surplus from this event will go to Cancer Research and British Heart Foundation 50-50. So we move on to the next slide. So event timings on the day. So we've tried to give a lot of scope for people to turn up on the day and start and not have to rush into London, especially overnight accommodation is quite expensive. So we try being as inclusive as possible. So you can start from 10 a.m. at Bishop's Park within Putney. And that's from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We'll have people, volunteers, to do registration between those two times. So you've got a bit of flexibility. So no one has to hit the time of 10 a.m. If you're there for 10 a.m., most people will start from 10 a.m. that get there for 10. But if you arrive at any other time, you can leave as soon as you've got registered and you can start your walk. So there's no problem there. We're just giving a little bit of scope for people with regard to travel into London and getting teams together. So there's no rush to be there for dead on 10 a.m. But whoever's there at 10 a.m. can look to start their walk. The same with the 15K walk from Battersea. That starts at 12 noon and that's till about 1 o'clock as well. So we'll have a team of people in the bandstand at Battersea Park for that start as well. And also, anybody needs any water en route, and we'll have water provision and provided to support anybody on the route on the 25K as well. And the event finishes, that means you could still be walking the Thames after 5 p.m. if you want, if you decided to stop in any of the local coffee shops or pubs or anything like that along the route. But we'll have volunteers and people there to give you your medal, and our celebrity sports person who'll be doing that on the day till 5 p.m. Anytime after that, we'll have to send it to you in advance if you're in a pub and still finishing your walk. But that's the sort of key times for the day. We go on to the next slide. So on the day when you register, you'll get a lanyards, like a quick visual here, and that's got all important numbers on the day. You'll have event control, which will be open from 24 hours before the event and 24 hours after the event. So anything non-emergency, if you've lost something, then you can get hold of us on that number. WhatsApp's a really good way to do that. Or text message, and we'll come back to you as soon as possible. If you're retiring the race as well on the lanyards, please just let us know that you're retiring the race and your details, so we'll know that you've decided to drop out. If you're injured but not life-threatening, also let us know. We've got emergency. We've got first aid backup that will come and meet you en route. If you provide Wat-free numbers, that'd be really helpful. A really good app to download. I know previous participants of the Public Sector Challenge have used before. If it's life-threatening, obviously 999. And then, if possible, let us know on the emergency number, our emergency number, event control number. But please deal 999 first, and then we'll obviously support you there with our medical provision on the walk. We go on to the next slide. So on the route itself, you'll have staffing and volunteers at both the start and the end. But during the route, you'll have, with regard to guide, you have the guide online and the files you can download. But every kilometre, you'll see one of these. So either 1 kilometre, 2, all the way to 25, and then once you get past the 15 mark, or sorry, the 10-kilometre mark, you'll start to see orange signs that we're showing you. If you're doing the 15K, you're at 4K, for example, and if you're doing the 25K, you're at 14K. And then you'll see the finish. They'll be branded. They'll also got Cancer Research UK and British Heart Foundation on those kilometres. But if you go on the website, it's very easy to follow the Thames and the route. You can download the file or just use the website to do that. It's using Google Maps. So really easy to navigate. If you go wrong, you can correct yourself very easily, but the path is very well navigated. It's unlike the previous challenge when you're up and down mountains. This is definitely a footpath, and it's the Thames Trail you'll see to do. So please do, if you haven't already, familiarise yourself with the website. We'll have links to download on the day as well. But we've done a paperless route, so we're not looking to hand out maps. You can print them yourself, but the maps are all online, and you can do that and navigate using Google Maps or any of the all trail routes by downloading the files that are online as well through the London Bridges routes. Okay, I'll move on to the next one, please. Thanks, Pete. So the start is at Bishop's Park in Hammersmith. You'll see this online. This gives you some details about the postcode for the park to get there. It's really close to the local to the tube line, and you'll see on the next slide there's some information about the tubes and bus routes as well. If you could just go on to the next slide, Pete. So this is the bus, tube, and National Rail. We're only aware of at the moment the impact on the whole of the event is the Jubilee line is closed on the day. So that only really impacts anybody, unless you use the Jubilee line for other reasons, anybody leaving the site at Southwark at the end. But as you've walked 25K, I'm sure a few more extra yards won't be too much. But yeah, there's information. All of this can be downloaded from the website, and it'll give you the National Rail tube. But Putney Bridge station is the best one to get there. If we just go back to the other side, sorry, Peter, should have said, where I've highlighted the S on there is the middle of the park. It's called the event zone. That's where we're looking to meet. You will see a park run that day as well. So if you just be careful and navigate getting to the site without impacting the park run, unless you want to turn up early and do the 5K park run ahead of doing the 25K as well. I know the team are very keen. If we want to participate, we can. So just let you know there is a park run in Bishop's Park on that day as well. But get there before for 9:30 for 10 o'clock if you want to start at 10, or any time between 10 and 11. That's the Bishop's Park in Hammersmith and Fulham. Okay, so if you're starting the 15K, we're starting from the bandstand, which is right in the middle of Battersea Park. Really clear to see. The picture on the right actually isn't the bandstand, but that's just one of the monuments on the river. That's the Peace Pagoda. But the bandstand's very easy to find, right in the middle of Battersea Park, and we'll have volunteers on hand. You'll see all the branding for the event, and we'll register you there. And you can start anytime from 12 o'clock, and we'll have people on site until 1 o'clock. Both these parks have got public toilets. Easy to access. If you turn up and you need the toilet beforehand, you can. We haven't put any additional portaloos en route, but there is toilets on both these parks, and they've been checked out with regard to both of these. So please do. On the route itself, if you need the toilet, local amenities, there is a number of public toilets en route along the route, but using cafes, bars, places like that, if you really need the toilet en route, a little bit easier than, again, Yorkshire when we're navigating the moors. So yeah, we move on to the next. Transport again, this will all be on the website. Transport arrangements to Battersea Park and Wandsworth. So this will give you all the information to get there. Very easy to get into Battersea Park's tube station, then just a short walk into the park itself. If you're doing the 25K walk, there's no reason to go into Battersea Park. The route goes round the park, unless you want to drop in for using the toilet or collecting some water on the day. We'll have some water there if people run out of water. But again, you can obviously bring your own or collect around the road. We're trying to be a bit careful and not use too much plastic on the route, but there will be some water provision on site if people need any water en route itself. If we move on to the next slide. So the finish at Southwark Park, it won't be light like the picture on there. It'll be dark, but the bandstand's all lit, and you'll see that in a later picture. But you'll come along the river, and then you'll come through Kingstairs Gardens, and then into Southwark Park for the end, for the finish of the event. And I'll talk about a bit more of the finish later, but that's where we're going to end, in Southwark Park, in Southwark. Transport arranges to Southwark again. Has got Jubilee on here, but just so you're aware, Jubilee line won't be operating on Saturday. You can still use some of the stations, so Rotherhithe and Surrey Quays and Canada Water, I think. Surrey Quays, you can get overground lines on that day as well. But it's very short, a relatively short walk to Tower Bridge as well, if people want to walk to Tower Bridge and get on any of the other lines from there as well. So a quick map. This is on the website. You'll be able to download the map on Google Maps and use the map itself. But you can also download the GPX file. I think it's GPX file, and you can put it into any of your things like Strava or AllTrails as well. But it is really easy to navigate. Most of the route is the Thames Trail along the river. As I say, you'll follow the signage. There's a few areas that we bypass some of the parks because the London authorities are keen that we walk the pavements, not through all the parks. But you'll see the route's pretty clear. You're pretty much navigating the river path most of the route and crossing over the bridges. You will find some of the bridges, in particular Westminster Bridge, very busy. So just try and stay together, or just think about where you're going from the path across the bridge. Westminster in particular is very busy on a Saturday, so around Parliament as well. So just bear that in mind. It will be busy. You will be in purple, but you'll be navigating the bridge with lots of tourists as well on that day, on Saturday. There's 16 bridges overall, but just to give you a view, this is the 10K of the 25K route. So the first 10K, you'll navigate 16 bridges. And then if you're on the 15K route, you'll navigate the following 11 bridge, concluding with Tower Bridge. So first bridge is Putney Bridge, and then you'll follow all the bridges, the 16 bridges, till you get to Tower Bridge. There is a bit of information on the website, history of all the bridges. I'm sure you can Google them as well. But yes, you will cross all the bridges. If for some reason, obviously it might feel obvious, but you do find it difficult doing the whole distance, at any point you could take a shortcut and carry on along the Thames and not go backwards and forwards across the bridges. Obviously, the purpose of the walk is the London Bridges Walk, but if you feel like you want to reduce the distance, you can always do that. And on top of that, you can always jump on a bus or a tube. No one's being measured for whether they complete the 15 or 25K. It's very much yourself. There's no timings for this, and it's not a race. So very much you can time yourself, and you can time your group, but we're not recording it as a race or times. So very much your self times for this for walk on Saturday. Again, that's the 10K to 15K. So that covers the other 11 bridges. So we'll pick up that. And if we move on to the next slide, just to give a bit of an overview, because I wanted to pick up more question answers. These are the numbers of partners, got over 50 partners, council partners that have signed up, or public sector partners. I've also got a number of commercial partners. We've had people coming in still in the last few weeks, got a number of extra places. So I apologize if I've missed someone's logo, but if you could let me know if I have, I'm more than happy to add the logo on to the final logo board as well. That's both commercial and public sector partners for the event itself. So we'll go on to the next slide. There are commercial partners as well, and some of our membership bodies who are supporting the event. So we'll go on to the finish. When you get to the finish, that's probably what the bandstand will look like. It looks lovely in the middle of Southwark Park. It's a well-lit park. There is toilets in the park, but they're not directly near the bandstand. So if you're getting close to Southwark and you think there'll be a toilet immediately there, unfortunately, it is another 200 yards, probably 200-300 yards from the bandstand. So just bear that in mind. We will have a coffee van there to provide you hot coffee. At the end, you can buy other beverages as well, or a cold drink. And you will receive your Public Sector Challenge medals that have turned up today. And they will be handed to you by the sporting celebrity Nitro from Gladiators, who will be there, who's everybody active have supported us to have at the end of the event. So you'll receive your medal and get, hopefully we can gather at the end and network, recover at the end of the walk, and anything else. We haven't arranged any formal event afterwards, but there's been a number of people talk about whether if anybody wants to go to a pub, have a drink afterwards, but there will be a number of pubs around, or we're just trying to find a location where we can recommend if anybody wants to go for a drink after the event. But there's no formal event at the end other than the event that's in Southwark Park with the medal giving. So we've got probably upwards of 650 people now involved in the challenge. If you haven't received some of your merchandise, I'll go to the question in a minute. Merchandise should all be sent out by now, or been sent out. You will start receiving it this week if you haven't already. Some people have already received their hats. Some organizations are getting deliveries to their organizations to hand out. So again, you should have those by the middle of the week, so you're able to hand those out. Please let us know through the admin email address if there is anything you haven't received yet, or by Wednesday. Worst case scenario, if we do have a problem, what we will do is we'll make sure they're at the start for you. But we have had a number of people try to contact us for different changes in merchandise or deliveries. So it's been quite tricky navigating. But if not, we'll bring it to the start with arrangements. So if you contact us and we can't get it to you ahead of the day, you'll have it at the start, wherever you're starting, whether it's at Putney or Battersea as well. So that's a bit of an overview of the day itself and what we're doing. I'm more than happy to answer the questions. Probably the questions are now more important than the content. So I'll go to the questions if it's all right, Pete. I can't actually see them at the moment, but we'll get them. I don't know if you could take the presentation down. Okay, so we'll start with the top. Joanna, our kit has not arrived yet. Do you know when that will be? So, as I say, you should have all the kit by Wednesday this week. If you haven't, let us know, and we'll make arrangements for it to be with you on the day. With regard to that, Peter, yeah, okay. Fulham, not Putney. Yeah, sorry. Putney Bridge is located right next to Bishop's Park. So sorry if I've got that wrong. And Putney Railway Station is. So sorry if I've used the wrong location name for that. So Leah, hi, right. Leah, great to be part of the Credible, yeah. Yeah, sorry. Unfortunately, Leah, sorry, we couldn't get you into the webinar. So, but Leah's got some information to share. So, good point to raise. Fundraising. We've set up a big wheel on the website. You can give wheel, sorry, and give wheel can give 50% to both our charities. I know some people have used Just Giving or previous links that we've used, but Big Wheel is the main fundraising platform for this challenge, because it allows no fees, but also it allows 50% to go to both charities. So if you want to use the GiveWheel site, you can set up your own teams individually for fundraising. This fundraiser, there's no pressure on for you to do this. £5 of all donations, all registrations have gone to the fundraising pot, and they'll be paid into at the end of the challenge. So that's there. But anybody, I know a lot of teams are already fundraising as well. We've already got over £1,000 of the £10,000 target on there. But if you want to use GiveWheel, you can. And there's a link through the Public Sector Challenge website to do that if you need to get linked to that as well. So I want to start at 10 a.m. for the 15K walk. Can I do that? Yes, you can. The only thing is there might not be anybody at the end of the 15K walk to give you a medal at that time, just because of volunteers. We're using volunteers at the start. So if you let us know on the admin email, we can ensure if we're not there at the end, there will be some people there depending on what time you finish. But it's unlikely anybody's going to be there until about 1:32 at Southwark Park. So if you're doing that off your own back and you want to start from the bandstand and do the 15K walk, you can, no problem at all. But there won't be anybody probably at the time you're finished to hand you a medal out. But obviously, and definitely not our celebrity sports person. So let's carry on there. Medal awarding begins from 2:30 on the day. So if anybody arrives there before the medal award, will start from 2:30. So that picks up that question as well. SWI's delay and bus replacement is coming in from South London to Surrey. Okay, that's helpful to know. Thanks for that, Rachel. Jordan, can one person from a team register all, or do individuals need to do this? So you can register and take all the lanyards, but we'd prefer everybody to wear a lanyard to do the route. It's got all the contact information on that. You'll have a lanyard. You'll give it back at the end. Also, the lanyard pass provides you with your free tea or coffee at the end. You hand that into the caterer at the end, our little green truck caterer, and they'll give you your tea, coffee, or cold drink at the end. So you can get all the lanyards, but as long as you can make sure you hand them all out to everybody who's registered. So yeah, if someone gets there early, registers all their team, gets all the lanyards and puts them around and makes sure they're around everybody's neck and gives them any sort of pre-brief information, then that'd be much appreciated. Claire, I've registered but haven't received confirmation, but made contact with them, but not receiving email. If anyone confirm on the list. Yeah, Claire, I have seen your email. I think today you'll probably get some emails. We're just getting through. There's a number of emails come in, but Claire, I've seen your emails. If you've registered, if you haven't received confirmation, a lot of them have gone, unfortunately, to junk email boxes. But if you haven't, we'll ensure you can do the walk. So please turn up on the day regardless. But you should have an email in the next 24 hours to give you some more information. But we'll make sure I've seen your emails personally, so there shouldn't be a problem with that. Lynn, when do we get the t-shirts? We have the staff only in until Wednesday this week due to shift patterns. Okay, yeah, so you should have them by Wednesday, but Lynn, I can check that for London Southend Airport because I know that's where you're from, and make sure that yours are with you by Wednesday. Thank you. Hannah, I joined late with two others and still haven't received a way to submit our payment. How is the best to resolve this? Okay, some people signed in and hadn't made the payment. Hannah, if you could just write through the admin address, what we'll do is we'll get you, make sure you're registered and ensure payment either before the day or after the day, and make sure that's happened. So good point, Harper. So the admin email address is admin@publicsectorchallenge.co.uk. It's on the website as well, but if you want to, I think you've sent a Public Sector Challenge LinkedIn message, Harper. So we'll have a check that. As I say, a lot of response has been given today and coming out over the next 24 hours. We're quite an influrry of people asking questions this week. Teresa, yeah, food and drink. If you could bring that along yourselves, as I say, there will be some water on the day and provision at the end, as I said, to support people. But very much bring enough for you along the way. You can stop. Obviously, there's nothing restricting you stopping along the way to get food and drink as well, or bring some with you as well. There's a number of coffee shops, restaurants, pubs, shops, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Waitrose. You've pretty got much everything. So carry as little or as much as you want, but there's really good provision all the way along. It really depends if you, as I say, you're trying to get a time and you don't want to stop. Yeah, please bring your own food and drink. But there will be some water to support people. But yeah, food and drink if you can bring that yourselves. Okay, your merchandise order is going in today. Is it best for us to pick it up at the start point? Thomas, yeah, we'll pick that up through the admin. There is a cut-off, and I'll need to double check with regard to kit. You probably get a beanie hat, but you might not get all your shirts and hoodies before Friday. But let's see what we can do, and our best endeavours to try and do that for you. Breeder, what kit is to be sent? I got a hat. Is there anything else to come? So if you only registered standard registration, you receive your beanie hat and you'll get a lanyard on the day. Some people added to that a t-shirt or a hoodie. You can order more online now, but they won't come before the day. So if you want something as a sort of memorabilia of the day, you can order it and they'll come after the event. But it's very unlikely the website now orders will come on the day. So I'm sorry about that. I originally said I'll do the 25k, but got new engine means I'll do the 15k. That's Jane. Not a problem at all. You can just turn up on the day. We'll have registration for both. If you say that, we'll just find your name on the list and put you down for the 15 rather than 25k. That's not a problem. It's just to help us with numbers if we know that. Is it possible to transfer membership to another person? Again, if you drop the admin email address, I'm sure we can, or we can hold a place for next year as well if that was easier if someone wants to come and do it in 2026. Laura read the start time up being from 11 a.m., not 12 p.m. for the shorter walk. Can you confirm? Definitely 12. Yeah. Sorry, we did look to start a bit earlier, but there is a park run in the park. We're keen for us to do 12 o'clock. So yes, this presentation will be updated later. It's good, Georgia. Yep, great. It's arrived. So that means that the process is working. I've seen a lot of people post on LinkedIn and Facebook and stuff there. So yeah. Invoicing, Danielle, yes, we'll get that done. We work on a very much a trust basis as volunteers. So as long as you've put it in, it's unlikely someone's not going to pay a charitable organisation to make the event. So, but you will get we will get the invoice as soon as possible, but we'll make sure that yours, Danielle, NLA, and thank you for the support. Trying to fly through these. So there's only one official rest stop for water, but yeah, you can stop at any point along the route and use any of the local shops and places like that to buy any products you want to do, food, drink along the route. The official one is Battersea Park for water. So along the route, if you need any water, you can drop into local shops along the route as well. So if someone walks fast, could they be done by 3 p.m.? Grab a medal and head to a pub. Yes, you can. At 2:30, our celebrity will be there. If you want to do that, if you want to do it any earlier, it's just our sporting celebrity will be there from 2:30 till 5 p.m. So if you do it any earlier, you have to wait around for that, or you could pop to the pub and come back for your medal a little bit later. What is the deadline for submitting fundraisers? You can do that any point. We're not closing the website down for fundraising. Normally, we leave it for a couple of months after the event. So Kath, you can do that at any point. So if you set your team up at any point before or after the event, we won't be shutting the fundraising down. And we're looking to roll over the fundraising for next year's event anyway. Paul, yes, Civica are fully registered, logo on the board as well. And whatever you've ordered should be with you by Wednesday. So you should have that as well. Brilliant, Alan. If we want to do economic benefit catch-up, we'll follow up the questionnaire for people after us if they could complete and could access impact for local economy. Yeah, so what we're trying to do is work out the impact of the event locally. So what we'll do is Alan's been really supportive from this, one of our board members, and we're going to send out a questionnaire afterwards for anybody that just to let us know if you have spent money in the local economy, stayed overnight, travelled in and things like that, because it's really important for us to gather that information for future events as well. That's good. Have I missed any questions, Pete? I've rattled through those, but I don't know if I've missed any or they've changed in order. Or has
No,
any
go
got
for
any?
them.
Thomas, you're correct. I've definitely missed the LGIU logo. So, yeah, could you drop me your logo? That'd be really helpful. I do it, as I say, a team of volunteers do this, and I was trying to go for last week, and I knew I'd missed a few, so I do apologise for that. So if you send me your logo, we'll make sure it's added to the logo board as soon as possible. And anybody else who's missed those logos, these slides will be added, but I'll update the slides if there's any logos missing. I'm just seeing if there's any other questions coming in WhatsApp. There's also a WhatsApp community WhatsApp group. There'll be a QR code at the beginning of the walk that you can do. It's a really good way to communicate en route, download any pictures, images. So during the route, if you take some pictures of your teams, please just download it to community group. It might annoy a few people with the number of pictures downloaded, but we haven't got a professional photographer all over the route. So we're relying on iPhones and Android phones to take pictures. And if you can download those, we'd really appreciate if you can publicize the event and link in Public Sector Challenge and Cancer Research, British Heart Foundation, and any of our partners. So it'd be really good if you can promote the event along the way. And as I say, there is a community community WhatsApp group if you want to promote anything as much as possible. That'd be good. Okay, there's a couple more questions in. With highest UK risk, hats have public sector written on hats. Just worried me a little bit, but I assume okay to wear. I mean, it's personally your choice, but the challenge is a public sector challenge, and in the event manual, we've looked to cover a number of things around safety. But yes, obviously, it's really down to you. The local authorities in the free areas are aware of the challenge, and that's not been highlighted. But again, I completely understand your concerns. But yeah, we haven't had anything highlighted that there's a problem with or an issue of us wearing something that says the public sector challenge. But yeah, thanks for raising that, Laura. We'll look into that again with our London colleagues and just sort of check that through. Rhonda, okay. Brilliant, yeah. And the board and everybody involved, Jenny, who's one of our board members from Solace, has done an immense amount of work behind the scenes, and a number of other colleagues as well, all doing it voluntary. So I do apologize. We're trying to learn every event and trying to make it improve, looking at all kinds of things, AI and stuff like that. But most people on the challenge are doing this alongside their day job. But I really appreciate your comment for everybody that's been involved, because we've now got a number of people supporting the event. And it's great to see so many people on board. So really the strategy and the objective is for people to get out, be promote the opportunity to be fit and healthy and support their mental health and physical health for the challenge. So yeah, it's really great and big thank you to everybody that's volunteered to support this event and everybody who's participating. It's not a great time, January, and you've got the opportunity to come together as the public sector, speak to colleagues on a hopefully not too long a walk, 25K or 15K, and network with a number of you during the walk and after. But yeah, big thanks for signing up as well. Really appreciate that. So great. If there's no other questions, and thank you, Kath, as well, we'll make sure everybody receives that. If there's no other questions, if you do have any, please, if you're not on the community WhatsApp group, I'll see how we can publicize that and get there's a QR code and link to that. There's about 400 members. So if you've previously done the challenge, you might be on there. So you can share that with anybody or request admin function on that for anybody who wants to come on the WhatsApp group. Anything before the day, 24 hours, you can get through the number, the event mobile number, which is publicized, will be on the website as well. You can use the community WhatsApp group. You can use the admin email address, but please bear in mind, most of that's being monitored by volunteers, so we might not get back to you as soon as possible. But and you can reach out to me at any point because I'll probably live and breathe this most of the week outside of the working day. So please do send any messages through any of the social media or personal messages. I'm more than happy to try and help. Anyway, big thank you for everybody. Hopefully, let's give you a bit more information to support your walk and look forward to seeing you all on Saturday and seeing the purple brand of the London Bridges Walk all the way down the Thames. Thanks a lot. Take care.